triumphant, but come ye, oh come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of Ages. Oh come let us adore him. Come let us adore him. Oh come let us adore him.
music up here for you. Oh, let's see. For Chris and George, your musical duet. I'm gonna get rolling on the Christmas carols, because that feels like it's about that time. But I got baggage with Christmas carols, because I don't know about you guys, but there's some weird stuff in Christmas carols, and so a lot of times when I feel like I've played a lot of Christmas gigs as a musician, and gotta like find ways of like having integrity with the things that I'm saying. So this song, I added a little chorus to it because it was really something that I was just kind of, I don't know, I was just sort of like sitting with it and struggling with it and wondering. So this is "Oh Come All Ye Faithful." So. up and move around. You got dance space here. I'm gonna sing Joy to the World. Yeah, let yourself be here. Let yourself be present. Move your body as it feels naturally and all that. Do what you want to do. Just be together. Killed the vibe. Had to retune, sorry. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. And heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth, the Savior reigns. Let all their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. Yeah. All right. Go ahead and have a seat. Well, let's see. This is a tune that I wrote for you all a few years ago. It's called Something New. It's funny to say I wrote it a few years ago and then it's called Something New. All right. No, we can't go on the way we used to. No, we can't go on the way we used to. No, we can't go on the way we used to. No, we can't go on the way we used to. Find something. Find something new. Something new is being born. What it is, a mystery. All the pressure builds to something, something that we've never seen. Something new.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see you all here. My name is Jessie, and I've been coming for a little while. If you've been here for many years or today's your first day, thank you for sharing your Sunday morning with us. It's nice to have you. There are bathrooms down in the hall to the left, and there's a sign for gender neutral bathroom, I think into the teacher's lounge area. Coffee, tea, feel free to come up and grab it at any time. We're pretty casual, and it's a little chilly in here, so if you need to warm up, go for it. The kids are working on their Christmas program in the back called You Must Bring a Hat, and so through the month of December, they're just heading straight back there on Sunday mornings. That will be coming up on December 18th, and I encourage you to come. Heidi always pulls off quite a show. She and her crew, I will just say, as someone who is not skilled at coordinating little people and getting them to do stuff, I'm always impressed with how well she does do it. So it's usually a pretty magical, fun day. So I encourage you to come whether you have kids or not to enjoy the show. Speaking of bringing a hat, we have a winter gear drive going on right now for refugees and immigrants coming to the area. I believe there's information on the Sunday paper in there, which I don't think I referenced earlier. Feel free to grab one if you didn't get it already. Another little detail, our wreaths are for sale by the middle schoolers, I think. After the service today, they're outside. Maya's kind of the contact, and some of the kids are helping out with that, and it's raising money for the summer trip for the high schoolers to go. So if you need a wreath, or if you would like to give one to cheer them up, pick up a wreath on your way out. December here is, things always are a little bit different programming wise, just due to the holidays. So I just want to hit on a couple notes that are in your Sunday paper too. But like I said, December 18th, the kids program, You Must Bring a Hat, is during our time on Sunday morning. Christmas Eve on December 24th, 2 p.m. is here at Field. And then there is a mysterious 9 p.m. thing going on under the 12th Avenue Bridge. I don't know a lot of details about it, but hopefully we'll find out. It sounds very nice, actually. So I'm looking forward to that. And then another thing is on Saturday, New Year's Eve, the 31st, there is a chili cook-off here at Field. And there's information in the Sunday paper about that, and then all the proceeds will go to local nonprofits. So who doesn't like a good bowl of chili? And then the last thing I just want to note, I just want to make sure I hit it off. Yes, say hi. So find someone that you maybe didn't come with, someone you haven't seen for a while. Say good morning, hello. I was trying to think, I always like to think of cues for this, and I was trying to figure out, it's December, and maybe you don't really care for Christmas, that's okay, or the season might get you, but there's got to be something going on right now that you like, whether it's the Christmas carols, which Chris, I love those, whether it's the music you hear for just 1 month and you'll never hear in July on the radio, or the Christmas lights that are out. Find something that kind of brings you joy. For me personally, I like fun socks because I think fun socks bring joy. Melissa's giving me thumbs up. So right now I have festive reindeer and penguin socks on that I can only wear these in December. So I have a lot of fun holiday socks. So whatever brings you joy in December, maybe share that. So thank you.
morning, everyone. Welcome to Fabric. Welcome to being Fabric. I think I said this last time I talked, but this is one of my favorite parts of Fabric is that it's hard to get you all to stop talking to each other because you like each other. So we'll take that as a win. Yeah, I've never been told that before, so. They've been asked for me not to use a mic because too loud as it is. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Chris. I use he, him pronouns. I am a part of the Fabric community, and I just wanted to thank you all for being Fabric together this morning. It truly is an honor and a privilege to be able to start this conversation and hopefully have it continue in your lives moving forward. We are in the middle of a series about all I want for Christmas. I don't know about you, but Mariah Carey has been swimming around in my head because of this for the last little bit here. Last week, Melissa started us off with talking about kind of setting the table for ourselves. So what does it mean to want things for ourselves, and especially as adults? And it was a really beautiful way of talking about who we are as humans and that we get to have human wants, desires, and needs. And today we are going to be focusing on a very different type of desire. The desire for the world. The big ask. The thing that we really want the world to experience. Whether it be an end to climate change, or racism, homophobia, sexism, ableism, an end to all of the wars, to the famines, for everybody to be able to have food on their table. It's this big ask of the broader world, of the healing to come into the world that we are currently living into. And what does that mean for you and I? I have two temptations when it comes to this big ask. The first is that I either just think it's just too big of an issue, that it's just too massive, and all I want to do is just give up. Forget this, I'm moving on. Or the other temptation is I get consumed by it. I become the savior. I want to just heal the world myself and forget everybody else or every other thing. All that matters is my big ask and the way in which that I can provide for this big ask. As someone who struggles with anxiety, about 10 years ago, it was March of 2012. If anybody remembers that month, it was really obnoxiously warm. And my anxiety comes out in global climate change. And I discovered that in March when it was 80 degrees and and I just started panicking. I had panic attacks, I was dry heaving, felt like I lost all control of the world. I'd never been to therapy before, and my wonderful bride might have suggested that that's something that I should go to. So I went to a therapist for the first time. And I remember going to this guy and saying, like, listen, this is the problem, that I'm just obsessed with the fact that the world is burning around us and I don't know what to do about it. And his wonderful suggestion to me was that I guess this is God's way of telling you that to be a climatologist. Okay. Thank you for the laugh. I appreciate it. And for those that know me even more, I have no brains when it comes to science. Like, that is not my gift in life. So I walked out of that therapy meeting being like, okay, well, now I have to give up on everything that I ever dreamed about for my life, and now I have to be obsessed and consumed with global climate change. And it was horrible. So, that's not quite what I want to talk about today, but I think it is a good adventure into kind of how do we experience these big asks. So, what is the big ask for you? What's the big need that you put on your list for the world? What are you craving and desiring for this broken world that we live and experience? What is the one thing that almost feels embarrassing to ask for? Because it's just so enormous. I really want you to spend some time and think about what is that for you. We have Sunday papers that hopefully everybody got when they came in. There's some spaces to kind of jot down notes or think through what you're experiencing with this message. And there's a space there to write down. What is the big ask for you? This can feel hard because there's so much brokenness. In fact, it feels almost selfish to just pick one at times because I want to care about all of them equally. All of the isms, all of the brokenness, all of the hardships in this world. And if I commit to one of them, what does that say about all of the others? And so I have this theory, so stick with me for a second, that maybe this big ask actually tells you something about yourself. So let's move it forward a little bit. What does this want say about you? If this is something you truly desire and want for the world, maybe, just maybe, it's an insight into yourself in a new way, into how you experience and understand the world. For many of us, it's kind of that outcome that we desire, right? It's the world peace. It's the end to climate change. It's the end to isms and phobias and all of those things. And yet, can we just stop for just a moment and slow down? And ask, what's underneath this desire? So I'll go back to myself, right? The biggest example that I can think of is, again, that climate change question. So after going to better therapists that were more helpful for me, I started to break apart a little bit of what is that desire for me? What is that fear that I feel so consumed by? What is it telling me about myself? For me, it's about this desire to want to stay connected to people. The feeling of it being out of control, that some cataclysmic event is going to happen in our world and going to separate me from all the people that I love. And not only for me, but for my kids, for those that I love, for those that I don't even know. That there'll be this separation between all of us that leads to just horrific feelings of loneliness. So maybe, just maybe, this desire for the end to climate change for me is much more about a hope for the world. To move from that place of being motivated by fear of what could happen that's out of my control to a big extent, to a movement towards hope. A movement towards understanding that maybe I can play my part in this journey. Maybe, just maybe, as a chaplain, I can be one who connects people to each other, connects somebody to themselves. Because I sure can't do the science part of it. That's not my gift. So, with this big ask, there's this tension that we get to live in. This tension of an audacity to ask and the humility to know that I don't have to do it alone. I love this. I love this. The audacity. How dare you ask for these isms to change? And yet here we are. As a community, we commit to asking those questions. To, in a lot of us, devoting our lives to caring for the world around us, for bringing peace and goodwill towards everyone. And yet, this humility that we balance it with, the humility to know that it's not all about me. And in fact, I, Chris Lillahei, am not the savior of the world. Man, that's hard to say. Can we get rid of that on the recording? Because I don't. No, that I don't have to be it. That you don't have to be it. That instead you are a strand that's woven into the broader existence of this universe in ways that you can't even imagine. And what you have to do with that life is just show up. To have the audacity to be here in your full, true selves. What a wonderful gift. In this season of Advent, historically, it's been the church talking about what it means to have God with us, Emmanuel. And to me, that's about God showing up. That as we talk about it in fabric terms, it's the third strand. The first strand being ourselves, the second being our community, and the third being this thing that we call God. To realize that God shows up alongside of us and gets to interact. We get to co-create with this creator of the universe in some amazingly beautiful ways. And yes, we can be angry at the thought that it's not just a flip that's switched, right? These desires are legitimate. They are important. They are life-changing. And we can bemoan the fact that it's not a flip that got switched to turn off starving children, to turn off the isms and the phobias that are alive in me and alive in this world and alive around us. We can be frustrated by that. And we get to co-create. Part of this process is that both grief and joy are part of what it means to participate. What I mean by that is that we get to deeply grieve the fact that this healing hasn't happened already. That maybe it's not going to happen for my lifetime. We get to cry and cry out to the fact that the brokenness of this universe exists. And it's not we get to grieve so that we get to do something about it. Grieving is, in fact, doing something about it. And just as importantly, we get to experience joy. Just because this healing hasn't happened yesterday doesn't mean we get to experience the fact that joy is around us. Because why do we want these things, right? We want these things because joy matters, because hope matters. It's not so that we're robots and that we can solve one problem and move on to the next. It's that we're humans and we get to experience life and the joys of life. So somehow those are deeply interconnected in this process, and they happen at the same time. If we forget about the joy or the grief, we forget about the space it means to embrace this present that's sitting under this tree for us. We forget about the ability to really experience what it means to live this life. As I was kind of talking about this message and I brought it forward to one of my coworkers, and we had a really beautiful conversation about it. And she had this kind of aha moment that pointed her towards a quote that really stuck with me. And it's this quote by Rabbi Tarfon. I believe is how you pronounce the name, but it's up here on the screen. Do not be daunted by the enormity of the world's grief. Do justly now. Love mercy now. Walk humbly now. You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. Whew. That part of that quote might sound familiar to some of us. It's kind of a riff on Micah 6:8. We've talked about it in Fabric as a community a little bit, and in fact, it's my wife and I's kind of marriage verse that we've centered our lives around. And I think the way that this rabbi took it is just so beautiful, so practical, so important to understanding, what does that mean for me now? What does that mean for you? As you experience the ups and downs of the world, as you experience this desire for healing, for safety for others, what is that asking of you? To me, it's this balance, once again, this tension to live into, of this really absurd self-assuredness that what I do actually matters in the world. I mean, that's a pretty wild thing to think about. That me, 1 out of 8 billion people, I don't do numbers, a lot of people in this world, that my life matters, that what I do actually matters in this world, that's wild. And in the same breath, it's the humility to know that it doesn't have to be all about me. I'm off the hook. I get to participate, but I don't have to complete it. And let me just say, this is much easier said than done. This is a struggle that I consistently work with in my own life. Because man, oh man, sometimes it would be nice to just be the Savior. To just fully complete all of the work. To be the hero of the story. To not have to rely on anybody else. And then at other times, I feel like the scum of the universe. That I recognize my own phobias, my own racism, my own destructive nature of leading to climate change that happens inside of me. And man, oh man, I just feel worthless. So how do we keep both of those? How do we keep a hold of that and embrace this present? And so part of this gift is that we get to celebrate. Yeah, we get to celebrate. You know, my favorite thing about Christmas is when a little kid opens a new toy and all they want to do is celebrate with you. They just have this joy on their face and they're just saying, don't you just admire what is this toy? This is amazing. My life has changed. How beautiful is that? And we get to do that with one another. As we work in different sections and different areas of what it means to bring healing to the world, we get to celebrate each other's. I don't know about you, but at times I feel tempted to judge other people when it comes to their work in healing. Because they don't care about what I care about. Their ism isn't the same ism that I'm focused on. And so I can just feel myself saying, you knucklehead, you're caring about the wrong problem here. The problem that really matters is the one that I have. What are you doing spending your time over there? And yet, if we really do commit to this woven nature of the universe, maybe we just get to celebrate in the fact that that healing happens in ways that I can't understand or imagine. I remember when the pandemic started and just kind of being freaked out about everything and not understanding this virus at all or my place within this virus. And once again, Jenny's always the hero of my stories. So she kind of rooted me to this of saying, like, Chris, think about the fabric community that we're a part of. And stop and think about all of these incredibly smart people that are doing incredible things to stop this virus in ways that I can't even imagine. The experiments, the caring for patients, the sitting in hospital beds, sitting and holding the hands of the sick. And I was just humbled to know that I get to be a part of this community that is working to heal the world in ways that I can't even imagine. And I get to celebrate that. It's not a competition. Instead, it's this beautiful community that means more than I can ever imagine. And I think it matters that I know names of people that are doing stuff that I don't understand. I get to be in community alongside scientists and doctors and nurses and social workers and teachers and incredible people who are providing for and caring for and loving on this world in ways that I don't fully understand. And that's part of this gift. In fact, it is the antidote to those two concerns that I had about this big ask. Because if I understand and recognize and love people that are working towards the healing, I get to celebrate along with them. I don't have to be the savior. And I don't have to feel like I'm just this single strand floating through the universe, not connected to anything else, where everything relies on me. I get to have people that can encourage me and support me and love on me, no matter where I'm at in my process. And to me, that's truly beautiful. So again, I want to extend that invitation to you all. That in your own way, in your own expertise, in your own knowledge, that you're invited. Now becomes kind of the hard part. Is if you really have a desire for this peace to come, for this thing to change, how are you willing to change for the peace to come in? Because yes, we can struggle with the fact that it isn't a light switch that turns on and off with the hurts of the world. But the reality is that we contribute to the pain in ways that we don't even imagine. And so what does it mean for you to open this present, to be invited in, to get to share in the healing of the world? How do you get to be changed? How do you get to experience this internally? Knowing that you don't have to be the be-all or the end-all or get it all right or change immediately, that you get to be part of the process of what it means to be changed. So I'll leave you with that.
A deep breath. If you would, go ahead and pass those baskets that you'll find on the floor near your section of chairs. It's our opportunity opportunity to put your communication cards in there, and if you happen to bring financial gifts to support this community, those are always appreciated too. Well, this song is I don't know, it's a sort of melancholic carol. My style. Sorry, Jesse. George has fancy socks too. Oh, this is it's called I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. Heard the bells on Christmas Day, their old familiar carols play, and wild and sweet the words repeat of peace on earth, goodwill to all. I thought how as the day had come, the belfries of all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to all. And in despair I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Sing this out with me. And peal the bells more loud and deep. God is not dead, nor does God sleep. The wrong shall fail, the right prevail. With peace on earth, goodwill to all. To ringing, singing on its way, the world revolved from night to day. A voice, a chime, a chant sublime of peace on earth, goodwill to all. Peace on earth, goodwill to all. Could you stand up, please? Sing this last one. So this is Christmas. What have you done? Another year over, and a new one just begun. So this is Christmas. Hope you have fun. The near and the dear one, the old and the young. A very
Okay. Thank you all. Thank you, two especially, that are not looking at me. Just giving you a shout out and you don't even know. Man, it is fun to just laugh and be with people, isn't it? I just really appreciate that. And that's why I love Fabric. Announcement before I forget. Thank you, Jen. 0 to 4-year-olds pick up in the nest because they didn't get much time to play and want some time to play. Can't blame them. And the homework. And maybe try to actually do this. Sometimes I'm not good at the homework, but I think it's a good one. Share your big ask. Ooh, that feels vulnerable. And ask somebody else what theirs is. Particularly if they're not a part of the Fabric community yet. Like, what is their desire for the world? And grieve and celebrate with them. I love that part. So, thanks for being Fabric, and enjoy it. Celebrate, have fun.
That's it. Enjoy. Have a great week.